Hey everyone, PayPal is widely recognized as one of the most undervalued stocks in the market. It's selling at a relatively cheap valuation, and there are plenty of investors, especially on YouTube, that are recommending PayPal stock as a buy, including myself. I do recommend PayPal stock as a buy. In fact, it's one of my top stocks to buy, and I own PayPal stock, so I am relatively bullish on PayPal stock. That being said, I'm gonna do in this video is I'm gonna make a stock price recommendation for PayPal for 2024, where I think PayPal stock could be by the end of the year, using estimates and assumptions, including its valuation multiple, to come up with a conclusion on where I think PayPal stock could be. So let's jump right in. Let's take a look at these results.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so we're going to use a few different numbers here to make our estimate, starting with PayPal's stock price. As of this recording, it's at just below $61 per share as of this recording. We're also going to use PayPal's valuation multiple, and I'm using the forward price to earnings ratio. The price to earnings ratio is an important financial metric I use to determine which stock is more expensive or if a stock is too expensive. Let me show you this example here. I have two stocks, one trading at a market price of $100 and one trading at a market price of $12. The one trading at a market price of $100 has an earnings per share of $2.58, while the other has an earnings per share of just 11 cents. When we look at their price to earnings ratio, the one trading at a market price of 100 is trading at a price to earnings of 38.76, while the one trading at a market price of $12 is trading at a price to earnings of 114. So in this example, the one trading at a market price of 12 is actually more expensive because I'm paying 114 times earnings to purchase this stock. That means if the company was to pay me earnings per share every year as a dividend, it would take 114 years for me to receive my money back. Whereas the other stock, it would pay me back in 38.76 years. Now, there's a lot more to think about in this equation, but to simplify, that's an example that shows you why a company with a market price higher can actually be cheaper than a company with a market price that's lower. So now that we know a little bit more about the price to earnings ratio, we can see PayPal is trading at a forward price to earnings ratio of 9.897. We're going to use that in our valuation model. Okay. Also, we're going to use PayPal's earnings per share estimates for 2024 and 2025, mostly for 2025, because we're using the forward price to earnings ratio. We need the valuation for earnings per share at 2025. So if I'm looking at making an estimate for where PayPal stock price could be in 2024, I need the earnings per share estimate for 2025. If I was looking for 2025, I would need the EPS for 2026 if I was using the forward PE ratio. When you're using the forward PE ratio, you need the earnings per share estimate for the 1 year ahead. That's what you're incorporating into your valuation. Okay, so with that being said, here we have fiscal year 2025, and this is the earnings per share estimate for PayPal, $6.12. And this is the estimate from all of the Wall Street analysts that are following PayPal stock. They put together their earnings per share forecast, and there's a collection of that's collected, and then there's the consensus estimate, an average among all of the Wall Street estimates. So there's some that think PayPal's earnings per share will be higher in 2025, and there are some who think PayPal's earnings per share will be lower in 2025. This is the midpoint of those estimates. Okay, finally, now that we've looked at all of our assumptions and the numbers that we're going to use in our model, let's look at our actual model. So what I have here is earnings per share for 2025. $6.12. Remember, I got that from this point here, the consensus estimate. Then I have here the forward PE ratio, 9.9. I got that from the current valuation. Now, if PayPal, all else remains equal, PayPal goes forward 1 year and the valuation multiple stays the same and it is on track to hit this earnings per share in 2025, PayPal stock price could be $60.59. That would be hardly any change from where it's at right now. So the change in PayPal's stock price is going to come from a change in the valuation multiple. If PayPal's stock price trades at a forward PE of 12 instead of 10, then PayPal's stock price could be $73.44. If PayPal's stock price trades at 15 instead of 10, then the stock price could rise by nearly 50% to $91.80. But it's not always good news. It's not always upside. There's also a downside. So if PayPal's price to earnings falls to 8, excuse me, instead of 9.9, then the stock price could fall to $48.96. So you can see here, if you assume that PayPal's valuation multiple is not going to change and it's going to hit all its earnings per share estimates and remain on track for the rest of 2024, then the stock price is going to be little changed on the year. However, it's my opinion and my bullishness, and the reason why I own PayPal stock is that I believe the forward PE multiple is going to increase. I'm not so sure about the earnings per share, whether it's going to be higher or lower than the consensus estimate. I don't really have an opinion on that. So I'm just going to take the consensus estimate and say that's where it's going to fall, at $6.12, because I don't feel strongly either above that or below that. However, for the forward PE is where I have an opinion. That's where I feel that PayPal stock will improve on, is the valuation multiple. I feel as the year progresses and the new CEO gets his feet settled in, gets his feet under him, does the plan. Remember, the new CEO said that there is room to cut costs, and takes those cost cuts and makes progress on the company's performance. I think the valuation will improve throughout the year. And so I think, if you were to ask me where I think PayPal stock will be at the end of 2024, I think it'll be between $70 and $72 per share. Between $70 and $72 per share. Slightly below this estimate of the forward PE of 12. Slightly below this. That's where I think PayPal stock will be by the end of the year. Now you might say, well, that's not aggressive enough. I think PayPal stock is going to rise by more than that. Maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. But in my estimates, that's where I think it could be. Maybe in 2025, it makes more progress. The reason why my outlook is not much higher than that is because they just got the new CEO. So it takes time to turn around a company, especially a company as large as PayPal, or make significant improvements. So for that reason, I'm being more modest in my expectations for PayPal stock. Still, a $10 per share increase in a year would be solid. I would be happy with that return on my investment in PayPal stock. If you liked the video you just saw and you want to see more just like it, please subscribe to the channel. I can't keep this channel free without the support of viewers like you. And if you're already subscribed, thank you, and I appreciate your support.